Hello, I'm Sebastian. Welcome to Nine Nar Trees podcast. Today, I will summarize and review the book, Too Much. A Guide to Breaking the Cycle of High-Functioning Codependency by Terri explores a pattern common among capable, caring people who keep life running for everyone else while quietly feeling depleted. The book frames high-functioning codependency as an over-responsible way of relating, managing, anticipating, rescuing, fixing, and performing competence to earn safety, belonging, or approval. Rather than portraying readers as weak, Cole positions the pattern as an adaptive response that may have helped in earlier environments, but now creates chronic overwhelm, resentment, and blurred boundaries. Drawing on her background as a psychotherapist and coach, she emphasizes practical awareness, emotional skill building, and boundary repair. The core promise is not to stop being generous or successful, but to stop overgiving in ways that erode self-trust. Readers are guided to identify subtle control behaviors, unspoken contracts, and roles they default to in relationships and work. The focus is on shifting from people-pleasing and over-functioning toward healthier interdependence. I will give you key takeaways from this book. Firstly, defining high-functioning codependency beyond stereotypes. A central contribution of the book is clarifying what high-functioning codependency looks like in real life, not obvious dependence, but competence used as armor. The pattern often includes being the reliable one, the fixer, the emotional manager, or the person who keeps the peace. Readers may recognize themselves as highly productive and externally successful, yet internally anxious, resentful, or exhausted. The book distinguishes caring from controlling and support from over-responsibility. It highlights how over-functioning can become a way to avoid discomfort such as conflict, uncertainty, or vulnerability, and how it can create an imbalance where one person carries the emotional and logistical load. Cole frames this as a relational strategy that may have been learned in families where needs were ignored, emotions were unsafe, or love felt conditional. Understanding the pattern helps reduce shame and replaces self-criticism with curiosity. The topic also underscores that the cost is not only burnout but reduced intimacy, because constant managing leaves little room for mutuality. By naming common traits and behaviors, the book gives readers language to identify the cycle and begin changing it without losing their strengths. Secondly, the hidden mechanics of the cycle, roles, control, and resentment. The book examines how high-functioning codependency sustains itself through predictable roles and feedback loops. Overgiving may begin with good intentions, but it can slide into subtle control, deciding what others need, taking over tasks, preempting mistakes, or managing feelings so the environment stays stable. When others do not reciprocate, resentment builds. Yet the high-functioning person often continues because stepping back triggers guilt or fear. Cole highlights the unspoken contracts that develop, such as, "I will handle everything and you will appreciate me," or "If I stay indispensable, I will not be abandoned." These assumptions can keep relationships stuck because direct requests and honest limits feel risky. The topic also addresses how perfectionism and hypervigilance can disguise themselves as helpfulness, and how rescuing can prevent others from growing. Readers are encouraged to notice signals that they are over-functioning, such as chronic urgency, difficulty resting, or irritation when others are slower or less invested. By mapping the mechanics, the book helps readers see that the cycle is not about morality, but about patterns, and that changing behavior in small, consistent steps can shift the entire system. Thirdly, boundaries as a daily practice, not a single conversation. A major theme is that boundaries are not rigid walls or dramatic ultimatums. They are ongoing choices that protect energy, time, and emotional health. The book emphasizes internal boundaries, such as distinguishing your feelings from someone else's, as well as external boundaries, such as saying no, asking for what you need, and allowing others to experience the consequences of their choices. Cole frames boundary work as both mindset and skill, requiring clarity about values and a willingness to tolerate discomfort. Readers learn why boundary setting can feel unsafe when they are used to earning connection through usefulness. The topic also explores common obstacles: fear of being seen as selfish, fear of conflict, and fear that relationships will collapse if the reader stops carrying them. Practical guidance centers on preparing language, choosing the right timing, and repeating boundaries consistently. The book also points to the importance of boundary enforcement, meaning aligning actions with stated limits. Over time, this practice builds self-trust and reduces overcommitment. Instead of measuring success by others' approval, the reader is encouraged to measure it by alignment, emotional steadiness, and the ability to stay connected without self-abandonment. Fourthly, reconnecting with needs, emotions, and self-trust. High-functioning codependency often involves losing contact with personal needs because attention is trained outward. The book addresses this by encouraging readers to rebuild an inner relationship based on honesty and compassion. A key step is learning to identify feelings early, before they harden into irritation or collapse into numbness. Cole links emotional awareness to choice. When you can name what is happening internally, you can respond rather than react. The topic includes recognizing the body's signals of overextension, such as tension, fatigue, and racing thoughts, and treating those signals as data rather than inconveniences. It also explores how people-pleasing can become an identity, making it difficult to know what you want when no one is asking. By practicing self-inquiry, readers can separate genuine generosity from approval-seeking and start making decisions that honor their capacity. Another focus is self-trust, which is strengthened when a person keeps commitments to themselves, respects their limits, and allows themselves to be imperfect. This shift supports healthier relationships because it reduces the need to control outcomes. Instead of proving worth through performance, the reader learns to value authenticity, directness, and emotional presence. Lastly, creating healthier relationships and sustainable success, the book ultimately aims at interdependence, relationships where support flows both ways and where responsibility is appropriately shared. This topic focuses on translating insight into change dynamics at home, work, and friendships. Cole encourages readers to practice new behaviors, such as making clear requests, delegating, letting others do things their own way, and tolerating the discomfort of not being in charge. She also emphasizes choosing relationships that can accommodate growth, because not every connection will survive a shift away from overfunctioning. The book highlights how boundaries and self-respect can improve intimacy by making space for honesty and mutual effort. In professional settings, the theme extends to leadership and teamwork. Capable people can contribute without becoming the default solution for every problem. Sustainable success is presented as success that includes rest, joy, and time for personal priorities, not just output and reliability. Readers are guided to notice when their sense of identity is tied to being indispensable and to experiment with being valued for who they are rather than what they produce. Over time, these changes reduce burnout and increase clarity, enabling relationships that feel safer, more equal, and more emotionally nourishing. In conclusion, this book is best suited for high achievers, caretakers, helpers, and professionals who feel chronically responsible for other people's emotions, outcomes, or stability. If you are the one who always fixes, anticipates, smooths things over, and keeps the system running while privately feeling tired or resentful, the framework of high-functioning codependency will likely resonate. Readers can benefit by gaining language for patterns that often hide behind competence, along with a practical path toward clearer boundaries, stronger self-trust, and more reciprocal relationships. The life impact is concrete: fewer overcommitted yeses, less emotional labor performed in silence, and more space for rest, creativity, and authentic connection. Compared to many relationship or codependency titles that focus on dramatic dependency or crisis dynamics, this book targets a subtler, widely shared pattern among people who appear successful and self-sufficient. It also offers a modern, skills-based approach that emphasizes behavioral change and emotional awareness rather than blame. For buyers seeking a grounded guide that respects ambition and empathy while challenging over-responsibility, it is a worthwhile purchase and a useful reference to revisit during boundary and relationship transitions. If you would like to support Terri Cole, you can buy the book through the Amazon link I've provided in the podcast description. After reading the book, please let me know what you think and share your thoughts. See you around. Emily Isone.